Hey guys, Palsteron here, and today let's talk about my final update for the EA Ballista League Starter. So I usually play my League Starters around about a week, and we're kind of drifting towards day 5, day 6. I will be playing this build more, just to be clear. Right now I'm farming, I'm farming a Headhunter. I'm almost done. And after that, I'll probably farm some more currency, maybe for another project that's soon to be announced. But basically, this will be my final update for this build. But do not fret. I will give you tools. If you want to stick to this build, I will give you tools to make this way better than my version. And that list will basically include things that I do not have yet that I wish I had, basically. So if you're somebody who likes to play one build or who likes to stick to a build very long, I'm usually the kind of guy who likes to make a new build every week. So I will obviously give you the tools and an upgrade list. Also, as for currency guides, I will have a full guide out soon. As for the Atlas passive tree and just what I'm doing in general, my whole strat, I will give you everything in detail, so definitely look out for that. But before we do the upgrade list, I want to go over some improvements I've done since the last video. Basically, number 1, I got Awakened Deadly Ailments, which is almost leveled already. A lot of people have been asking about added cold, faster attacks, Awakened Deadly Ailments. When do you switch? I would say basically if your attack time is very low, for example, if you have attack time 0.7 or 0.6 here, you always want to go faster attacks. Also, something I want to point out is that you get frenzy charges, which make you faster. So don't just go off of what you have in hideout, right? The attack speed you have in hideout. You obviously get frenzy charges on top. And then if you also have the medium cluster with sleepless sentries right here, then you also have onslaught whenever you place a totem. So if you hover over here, your attack time gets faster. But as for late game, you definitely want the Awakened Deadly Ailments. Now, other than that, you also want Awakened Burning Damage. And the reason why you do not want Awakened LA Damage with attacks, I was also leveling this one, right, is because this one does give your totems Reflect Immunity, but they don't need it because they actually already have it from Bastion of Elements. Cannot take reflected damage, actually counts for your totems. I tested this out. I didn't know that either, so I guess I learned. But yeah, basically Awakened Burning Damage on top of 39% more burning damage. It doesn't affect your hit portion, but that isn't important enough because you also get +1 level of Socketed Fire Gems, but you only get that at level 5, so try getting this one sooner rather than later. Other than that, we're now level 97, so I got a little bit more leeway to play with, and I basically just took this Life Node and Master of the Arena to make the build a little bit more durable. Also, I got a lot of questions about Life Tap, my mana reservation in general, so I want to clear this up real quick. Life Tap for me is just a quality of life that's like unparalleled. Basically, you never have to look at your mana. You don't need to press anything. It just goes off. And as you can see, with even a little bit of regen, you don't even see it, right? If I try, I have really fast placement speed. Look at this, right? This would be if I had to press down like 30 totems or something, which I never have to. But in general, Life Tap is just a huge quality of life improvement. And the way you reserve all this mana is number 1, you get Ashes of the Stars as high as possible. It goes up to 20. I currently have 19. So to get all your auras in, Precision, Purity of Elements, Defiance Banner, Grace, Determination, you have first up that. Second up, you have the Grace Mana Reservation Efficiency, and then you have this whole cluster here with Mana Reservation Efficiency and the Mastery with 15% on top. Now, if you had an Enlighten, which is definitely an improvement that we're going to go over, this would get a lot easier. Then you could probably also replace the Amulet. But basically, that is what you can do. Now, do note that my Precision is not fully leveled, which is something a lot of people did wrong. Also, do note that your Ashes of the Stars gives it a +1, so level it 1 less than what you would want, because otherwise, for example, if I have Precision level 10 here, if I would put it in, it would go to 11, right? And it would not fit into my mana reservation right here. So definitely look out for that, but do not level your Precision all the way. But if you need the accuracy, if you need to level it fully, just disable Defiance Banner for now. As for my bow, I upgraded from a +2 to a +3. I got really, really lucky with the LA damage with attacks. But basically what you want is straight up +3, a +1 to level of Socketed Gems, and then +2 to level of Bow Gems. And then if you can get the attack speed, you can craft on Fire Dot Multi, which would be GG. I didn't hit it, so I just crafted on attack speed. Don't craft on T1 attack speed until it's your final bow because it costs 1x to craft. As for how to craft this bow, I will reference a Zizron video. He actually made a full video about how to craft this bow. It's not very hard. Definitely do watch it if you're interested, but be sure that you bring the required currency. Just watch this video, then you'll know when you will be able to transition to this bow. Also, another change I've made is I actually now got a Rain of Splinter, and it is very good for clear. Just be sure to not get this before you have really good gear, because it will reduce your damage. Not only is it 30% reduced damage, now that's not less damage, it's just reduced damage, right? So any like 30% from anywhere will make up for that. But what I will say is that it also costs you a jewel slot, right? And in that jewel slot, you can fix your attack speed, for example. So it's not only 30% reduced damage, it's also whatever you lose from the normal jewel. And it doesn't really do anything for single target damage, because you can still only hit with 1 arrow per attack. So just make sure that if you have trouble with single target, don't take this yet, just delay it until later. Let's go over some of the upgrades that I won't be doing anymore, but that you should probably be doing. I'm kind of in farming mode. I don't need to upgrade this character. I feel super cozy with it. But if you want to go to the next level with it, then these are the 4 next upgrades you want to make. Number 1 and number 2 kind of go hand in hand, right? Is get a new Emmy to replace Ashes of the Stars and get a level 4 Enlighten. And the reason they go hand in hand is that you can get a +2 Emmy, right, with life, and then also Fire Dot Multi, which is insane, right? That is like a straight up 15 to 20% more damage. But you will lose the reservation efficiency of skills. So unless you also, alongside it, get a level 4 Enlighten, you will now not be able to reserve all your mana, all your auras anymore, right? So you want to get these hand in hand. It doesn't matter in which, how you want to do it, right? You can also, if you really want to, you can also just get a level 4 Enlighten and then maybe reserve a little bit more of your precision and then later upgrade this. Also totally possible. Now, you will have to fiddle around whether a level 3 Enlighten is actually enough to do this. It really depends on your setup. Like a single mana roll on any of your gear pieces can completely make a difference. Also, this can make a difference, right? I actually spec'd into mana and life. So there is a lot of just variables that I do not know about your build. So just play around with those in POB before you make a big purchase that you later regret. Now, also in general, you want more fire damage over time multi on your rares. And the thing about fire dot multi is we actually don't get that much. So every bit you could get on top would give you a huge damage boost. The only real dot multi that we get is from here and from this cluster. And after that, we're kind of dried out, right? Unless you maybe have it on your bow or you can craft it on your bow, that's a little bit better, right? But there's no way you're satisfied with that. You definitely want to get dot multi on your quiver, and you want to get dot multi on your gloves, which you can get with the new implicits, right? So you don't have to get like a hunter base or whatever. Definitely get it on the implicits, and you want to get it on your amulet as well. So if you improved on those 3 pieces, you would probably already get like 30 to 40% more damage. It is insane, but also very expensive because it's easier said than done to get Fire Dot Multi, but you also still need your attack speed, right? You still need your accuracy fixed. You still need your spell suppression. So that's why I kind of delayed it at the very end. It's because these rares are really hard to get, and they may not seem like flashy uniques that are very expensive, but they are going to be very expensive to make and definitely something to strive for. And then at the end, something that a lot of people talk about is the Gall. When do I replace the Gall? I don't want to play the Gall. I don't want to do shrines on my Atlas tree. You can always go for a Blizzard Crown or don't, right? The thing is, Gall is just a very nice item. I absolutely love the item, but I also understand that not everybody wants to take all the shrine nodes, right? So if you want to have nothing to do with shrines, if you don't like the clicking, just don't go for shrine, go for a Blizzard Crown. Just the implicit will be around about 10 to 15% more damage. And on top of that, you can customize it for accuracy, for life, for spell suppression, whatever you want. You can put on, you can play around with certain influences, right? The only problem you have with Blizzard Crown is you won't be able to play around with the new implicits because it will overwrite the implicit that Blizzard Crown already have. So just be careful and mindful of that. Yeah. That's basically it for me for this build. It was a ton of fun. Like I said, this is not the end of my journey. I'm still going to play this build, but there's not going to be any meaningful upgrades. So I won't be like shitting out videos for no reason. So yeah, this is going to be where I'm going to leave the build. I'm sure I'll see on PoE Ninja, a lot of you guys will get this build a lot further, a lot more geared out, right? So I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, the overall feedback was pretty positive. So I'm really happy about that. The way I did things this time around, very in-depth, right? Very hand-holding. Which might be too much for some people, but I think a lot of people also appreciated it. So overall, moving forward, I don't know how I'm going to do it in next league, but I know that I'm going to have a lot of spicy builds already lined up for this league. It's going to be very, very fun. A lot of new things to try out. And yeah, with that being said, since I still don't have a slogan, see you next time.